On Sunday, April 1st, 2018, the animated sitcom Family Guy aired an episode that included a brief joke in reference to World of Warcraft and a popular World of Warcraft meme, Leeroy Jenkins. The joke was poorly received among World of Warcraft players and even casual viewers of the show, with the entire episode being another poor installment in what many consider to be Family Guy's overall worst season after a string of prior worst seasons. Basically, the joke was awful. Not just not funny or even unfunny, but downright awful. On this, practically everyone agrees. However, I think most people only dislike the joke on a sort of unfair and skin-deep level. The joke is bad, but its badness goes beyond what I think a lot of people consider. So I'd like to really examine the joke and go into some of the fundamentals of building comedy to really explain how truly shitty this joke was. So, let's do that. If you were to ask most people who dislike this joke why they think the joke isn't funny, they'll probably just tell you that Leeroy Jenkins is an old joke and World of Warcraft is dated. Family Guy is too late to make a joke like this. And this is something that I kind of disagree with and I think isn't exactly fair criticism. The joke isn't bad because it's a dated reference to something, it's bad because it's not funny to the point that it's anti-funny. You can make a joke about a dated meme or an old video game, you just need to make the joke funny. Hypothetically speaking, this joke could have been funny if it was, funny and well written. Family Guy has always been a show that exists primarily on what is called observational humor, where the humor is, at least in theory, supposed to be derived by making observation about something. Literally 9 out of 10 Family Guy jokes are a form of observational humor, normally in the most basic and least funny manner possible, as Family Guy's humor hinges heavily on just pointing something out and saying, "Look at that, that's something that exists." This is rather than using that observation to construct any kind of actual humor. This happened as far back as even Family Guy's original seasons, though back then it was normally done with a level of absurdity that made the humor at least worthy of a chuckle, if nothing else. Family Guy's most recent seasons, on the other hand, are pretty much just a procession of basic observations that the show just kind of expects, or hopes, that the viewer will find funny. So, yeah, Family Guy sucks. Nothing groundbreaking about that statement. I explain this to you because it's important for understanding just how shitty of a joke the Leeroy Jenkins reference is. The Leeroy Jenkins joke is like the pinnacle of bad observational humor. I mean, holy shit, it's bad. Just listen to it for a minute.
Aw, man! We're dying! Damn it, Cleveland! Where'd they get dragons? These guys have magic, guys! Can't move! Oh, God! Cleveland, you're an idiot.
This episode has a lot of internet things.
These guys have magic, guys. Cleveland, you're an idiot. This episode has a lot of internet things. Yes, Family Guy, very funny. The whole joke relies on we made a reference to something, and then look, we put a really bad looking World of Warcraft interface over the show that doesn't even fit on the screen, with canned observations to try to help float the joke. There's nothing inherently wrong about referencing Leeroy Jenkins just because it's old. The fact it's a Leeroy Jenkins joke is completely neutral. The joke doesn't work because it's horrifically unfunny. It wouldn't be funny, in fact it'd be just as unfunny, even if Leeroy Jenkins was a fresh and currently topical meme. However, most people wouldn't have received the joke as poorly as they did had Family Guy not specifically advertised it in a way that was misleading. A week prior to the episode's airing, Family Guy's official Twitter account tweeted a promotional image for the episode depicting Peter and Stewie drawn to resemble the orc and the human from the promotional poster to the upcoming Battle of Azeroth expansion, along with a vaguely promising Warcraft magic in the new episode. Naturally, people speculated on what this was going to entail, wondering if we were going to get a kind of Make Love Not Warcraft-esque Family Guy episode. While you may say it's the fault of the viewers for making the assumption that the tweet was alluding to a full Warcraft theme episode, I think this is really an unfair statement. When Family Guy specifically advertised that Warcraft was going to be involved in an upcoming episode, I don't think anyone is to blame when they assumed it meant more than a minute-long joke. The joke would have been received far better, or at least far more neutrally, had they not specifically teased its existence and just let people experience it for themselves. So in conclusion, it was a really bad joke, but it was bad far beyond the base reasoning of old reference equals not funny. Rather, it's a lesson in what really bad observational humor looks like. For a show like Family Guy, who centers almost all of its comedic voice around making observational humor, it's downright painfully hilarious that it is so fucking bad at making observational humor. It'd be like if you went into a shop where a guy's entire craft is all about making chairs, but every chair you walk past in his shop is a goddamn bathtub. Man, fuck you, Family Guy.